Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Alondra.
How's everyone doing today?
Good.
Doing well.
Do we all have our drinks ready? Look at mine. Oh,
I want one of those cups.
okay.
There, I've unmuted myself and
Oh,
you
there
can
you
see
are.
me now. I'm here. I got mine.
You do?
What do you think, Eric?
Looks like Bailey's and coffee to me, but I'm just guessing. How's mine look? The styrofoam cup, you can't tell. It's like
You never
wax.
know what's in it.
There's mine.
Flip flops for days.
Well,
Nah,
I mean, you think I'm dressed up, but I could have flip flops on.
I like it. I like.
Mine was one little love.
Oh, there you go. Very nice.
Sharing the love.
Tip C. I'm gonna need about 10 more minutes to get to tip C.
Okay. Okay, Nick, I think we should wait a couple more minutes. Give,
Yeah, it's officially 10:30 right now.
Yeah.
So you know how real estate agents are. To their clients, if they're 5 minutes, like not 5 minutes early, they're late to everything with the office. If they show up on time, it's like, wait, I'm too early. I need more business. I have to be 10 minutes late to the office and 5 minutes early to my clients.
Is everyone happy to have California open up again?
Oh, yes.
I'm so happy.
Just the elimination of forms itself is worth it.
Oh, I bet.
I know I talked a lot about it yesterday, but the PED form, we've been celebrating it all week here at the Carpenter office. We had breakfast burritos and beer Tuesday to celebrate Father's Day and the end of the PED. Yesterday at PMZ9, we talked all about, thank God the PED's gone, and I'll sing it to the hilt.
That's
All
right.
right, so go ahead and share. What is the PED form?
The PED form, it's a coronavirus entry form. So when coronavirus first came out, they handed us one. I think at the height, there were 4 forms per transaction for a PED. You had to fill one out before every single property you showed. You couldn't close your file without a PED for the listing side, the buying side, signed by everybody. Every inspector had to sign one to go into a house. That's home inspectors, passes. I mean, the amount of paperwork that the coronavirus caused just to protect everybody who's not us was ridiculous. So
Wow.
hallelujah, be gone.
Yes, we had a
But tell me how
large
you really feel, Nick.
bonfire out in the parking lot here.
Yeah.
We got in trouble.
Well, that's just because you didn't do it on a burn day. See, that'll teach you.
Well, and we drank a keg of beer and well, never mind.
I was like, where was my invite, Eric?
Damn it. I'll remember you next time, Nick. But
I
I
was like,
think
you're just a hop, skip, and a jump down the highway for me.
that's true. Follow the smoke.
That's dangerous in the summer in California.
Oh, man. You can't drive down 99 without seeing smoke right now. That's not a laughing matter. It's serious. And, people are flipping cigarette butts out the window and starting fires right next to the freeway.
Then they wonder why there's fires.
Correct.
Because you know it's a big percentage that's caused just by that.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Carelessness.
I cannot condemn them. I probably was one of those guys for 35 years. So, son of a gun.
I think if you want to kick us off, Alondra, or do you want to wait 2 minutes?
I think we're okay.
You ready?
This is being recorded, so I will email it out after we're finished here. But welcome to Tipsy Thursday. This is a series that we created, and I feel that it's so beneficial for agents to, keep learning about all the tools and services that we offer. I think most of the times we, introduce a new product that we think is amazing and then promote it, and then it just kind of, we never hear of it again. So we want to make sure that that changes. So all the tools and services and tips that we're going to be sharing are just going to help you grow your business, right? So the cool thing about this is that it's going to be myself and Nick. So I'm more of the technical side, where Nick, you're more of the
Implementation,
Yeah.
execution.
execution. So so you really get to see from or hear it from both perspectives. So I think that that's just a game changer here. Nick, do you want to say anything?
No, I mean, as everything that ever happens with all instruction or real estate, it's just entertainment unless you implement it. And as funny as I think I am sometimes, exactly. As funny as I think I am sometimes, if you only want entertainment, you need to go to the movies now that they're open again, or go somewhere else. It's all about execution here. So if there's a really good idea, or if you take just one thing from each one of these Tipsy Thursdays and execute it flawlessly, you'll double your business every 3 weeks. If you take one thing every 3 weeks and you implement it. That's where most of us as agents fail, is we take too many good ideas. We have these really smart shelves that collect a lot of dust, and then we never implement them in our business. And therefore our shelves are smart, but our bank accounts aren't. So execution always comes down to success, if that makes sense. And I'm Nick, by the way. I'm in the carpenter office. I'm actually at the office. I should be at home. It is my intention that at some point Tipsy Thursday will be filmed by my section, will be at my bar, at my house. Eric, you'll be invited. I know you, buddy. You'll be there.
I was just saying, yes, I can't wait. Thank you very much.
Eric, you're getting an invite. I know. You'll have to drive from Ceres to Riverbank, but
Okay, so to
Getting there is not a problem. It's getting home that's an issue.
Uber. All right.
okay.
So,
So to kick things off, we are going to start the very first Tipsy Thursday going over buy side. And I think for the most part, everybody gets those coming soon emails and probably get a couple a day. But I don't know that everyone really knows everything that buy side has to offer. So that's what we're going to be going over today. So I'm actually going to be sharing my screen. I can get this done. Let's do- Okay. Can everybody see my screen all right?
Yes.
So buy side, it has so there's 3 aspects to buy side. There's the get more leads, and you do that through the home valuation page. It's designed to win more listings for you. And that is done through the buyer market analysis, and then close deals quicker. And that aspect is the coming soons that are being emailed out. So I think that's what agents use the most. But I'm going to start with the home valuation page, really showing you what your clients are seeing and how you can market this on your social media and so on and so forth. So I'm actually starting on Nick's page, and everybody should have that home valuation button on here, or it's also on their about page. It's
Briefly, do you want to show them how they get to this very easy from PMZ Plus, just in case somebody doesn't?
Oh, sure. Sorry. Okay. So if we're gonna go to PMZ Plus, you can get on your buy-side portal by clicking on Client Management and then clicking Buy-side Agent Portal. It's gonna be it's a single sign-on, which means that you don't have a username or password. Try to make it super easy for you. So all you have to do is click on it and you're logged in. You can also access it through the intranet, the new CRM that we've introduced. There's also a link in there. So let's say I'm a homeowner. I'm thinking about selling my house, and I've just kind of been, toying with that idea, but I really want to know how much my home is worth, right? This is what the home valuation page looks like. It's branded to you, and this is designed so that you can share on your social media. You can do postcard campaigns. You can, add it to your signature. So I'm going to go ahead and type in an address so we can go over that report together.
This is the one you want to know about. We talked about this yesterday.
Nick, you probably got 100 notifications from me today, by the way.
I
So
know.
every time someone runs a home valuation on your site, you will get a notification. You should get an email. And then also if you log into your buy-side account, there'll be a notification there. So this is what the homeowner sees, right? You see market report for the address, number of beds, baths, square footage. If this is incorrect for any reason, you can, I can click the button and then verify ownership. And the reason why that's done this way is so that you as the agent can collect their information so you can follow up on this potential lead. Agents can or homeowners can also sign up to receive monthly updates on the property. So every month automatically, I will receive an email letting me know if there's anything that's changed as far as the estimated home value. Below, we have a Google map of the home. So it's just a street view and it'll keep circling around. And then there's 3 different estimates that show up. But you see the estimates are very different. So we have anything from 195 to I believe 338 might be the highest. So that's a big difference. And we do this on purpose because next is confused. Like, yeah, this is confusing. And this is where we say, contact a local agent to get a CMA. And this is where the call to action button lives, which is branded to Nick because I'm on his page. Next is, well, what's the condition of this property, right? And it's automatically on needs work. And if I, as the homeowner, believe that my home is in excellent condition, which I believe most people do, they again have to verify ownership. So this whole page is designed for me as a homeowner to leave my information behind so that you can contact me. Next, we have we know where the buyers are searching for and what they're looking for. So, I think back in the day, and Mike said this at the PMZ 9, is real estate agents used to have the control over all the listings, right? If you wanted to know what homes were sold, you had to, or were on the market, you had to contact an agent, like maybe 20 years ago. And that's not the case anymore, right? Everything's on Zillow, it's on, PMZ.com, Realtor.com. But what we're doing is kind of changing that conversation. It's like, okay, all the seller information, right? But we know what the buyers are looking for. And that's just giving us more leverage. So on this map, it's a heat map. It tells you where there's more buyer activity. So you can see the darker are the more populated ones up in the foothills. It's a little less sought after.
So
Yeah.
Speaking of this, before we move on, in the terms of prospecting, how many of you, or does anybody here not know how to take a screenshot? Everyone's fine with those?
Everybody knows how to take a screenshot?
Now, do you mean screenshot on your PC like what we're looking at right now?
Yeah. So on a Mac, you can. I don't
I'm
know
on
if
a, I'm on a PC at the moment. Well,
PC does
laptop.
the same thing too,
Yeah.
but
It's
So-
different. Sorry, go ahead.
on each one of them. But one of the reasons, like you see this heat map right here,
Yeah,
this is something that I would take a picture of. So for me, I press Shift Command 4 on a Mac and I could cut out a specific photo. And I would cut out essentially all the zip codes in this area in these different colors and save that picture because
Oh, wow.
we'll be using it in a Facebook post right after this.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
continue, Alondra.
Okay. So then this breaks it down by number of bedrooms and the percentages that are looking for that kind of information. And then next is buyer activity. So what this does, it's a funnel, and it first talks about all the listing, all the views PMZ listings have gotten, right? So right now we're at 2.3 million. These are duplicated listing views. So if somebody goes on pmz.com and looks at a property, it counts. If I see the same property on Zillow, or if I go from a different device, those are all, they are not 2.3 million people, it's just 2.3 million times. And then again, so the funnel will start funneling it out through, filtering it out from based on my location in my property. So we see that within 5-mile radius, only 23 only 23 buyers are looking in that type of home, and then 11 within the price range, and then 4 within the price range radius
And bedrooms,
and bedrooms.
like everything.
So basically everything, there's 4. But right now, and this is where, like, I would say the cherry on top is, it's how many featured buyers are in that area right now. And this is telling me 7. And if you walk into a listing presentation and you say, I have 7 buyers right now who are potentially interested in this property, I think that is just like, that would just, I would be completely impressed if an agent walks in and tells me that during a listing presentation. So I think this right here, it gives you the most leverage, right, Nick?
Yes.
You want to?
Well, and so here's one reason why you as agents need to enter your buyers into buy side in the first place. Number one, let's make sure we put real buyers in there.
Yes.
I don't want to know who it is, but buyer ID 6401277 between 50,000 and 700,000. We already know that this person has set up their own search and the agent hasn't called this client in at least 6 months. Calling it right now. The
Wow.
reason why is nobody's ever going to buy a $50,000 house and a $700,000 house. That's not the same person. That's just there. If you have your buyers in here, the listing agent or me, for example, this is literally my page. I don't know who you are with these buyers. I just know that they exist. And if all of our clients are putting all of their buyers in here, we're armed with so much more information when we go out there that we can tell them, hey, by the way, you know how you wanted this home valuation, I show up? Yesterday, when you put this valuation in, we had 7 people. Our 700 agents enter their 15 clients they get every hour in here. I show up tomorrow. Oh, by the way, we now have 13 buyers searching. The market's even hotter. We may be getting more money. It only works if we use it.
Exactly. So 7 is impressive, but what about
Like
15?
yeah,
What
if
about
you
20? There,
put it in my house, how many show up for that one? I think we did this once before and there was none.
yeah, I want to say there was, and do you want me to do it?
Sure. I don't care if y'all know my address. I take gifts.
What's the address?
2236
2236.
Candlewood.
I'll just show up for the bar you're talking about. Just
I
saying.
know. Riverbank. Yep, there we go.
I know exactly where that.
I think maybe, yeah, there we go.
It's just going slow.
There isn't any.
Yeah. The price has changed from last time. This says there's 4 searching for it. That's a big price difference.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a huge price difference, but there's nobody on there. And right now, what are we hearing? There's more buyers than listings, right? But we don't, so that number 7, sorry, where was I? That should be a much greater number. If just half the PMZ agents entered their buyers. And I want
Right.
to, I think the biggest pushback that we get, it's like, well, they're my clients. I'm not sharing their information, and that's fine. I'll show you how, what you actually need to enter. You don't have to enter their names. You don't have to enter their contacts. But if you did, there's no way anyone can see it within the system. All they see
Is an
this
ID number.
buyer ID, and we don't even see, yeah, that's all we see. And then in order, once we're in the system, it'll just tell you who's the agent, right? It'll connect them to the agent. So below is just supply trends, nearby sales. These are just not,
It's a plethora of information.
Yeah.
And one of there's positives and negatives to everything, right? The more information that you give them, the less likely they have to talk to you. So one of the best things about this is it is abject confusing.
Mhm.
So I love that about it. We can make it even more simple. I don't want to make it more simple. I don't want them to say, hey, buyer ID 6355170 belongs to Eric. Let's call Eric. Because I need that client to say, hey, this guy, Nick, who I just clicked on his ad or his Facebook post, has 7 people who could possibly buy my house. And there's a $300,000 price difference in this home by different places. I want them to contact me. We want anything for them to contact me. That being said, I already have the lead in my buy side right now from Alondra. Inside my personal portal, she searched this address, I think 3 times now, because it has this address plus 3,
Mhm.
because that's how many times she searched this specific address, and it shows me who the owner is. That's essentially what we're looking for, is we now have an address that I can use. And I'll tell you, there's only 2 reasons somebody enters an address. The main and most important reason is they're curious what their home is worth, and that's going to be 97% of the searches. The last 3% are, I want to buy this house, or I want to know how much it's worth when my sibling or grandmother or somebody passes away. I want to know what my inheritance is. But 97%, it's the owner searching for what their house is worth without wanting to talk to you. So if you know that going in, you're armed so much better for the conversation when you get this lead. And then do we want to talk about how to start making these posts?
Yeah, so, once you are in your portal, sorry, I have so many pages.
Well, I would say, so everybody, and Margaret, I'm glad I taught you how to take a screenshot. If you have that heat map picture, one of the great things to do is to hyperlink your valuation page to that picture. So what you're doing is you're posting it on Facebook. You're gonna say, you know, these markets are very active to active. And if, for those of you who know that we have trends on MetroList, you can actually say certain zip codes in Modesto, Stanislaus County, San Joaquin County, wherever you live, have gone up XYZ percentage, 20%, 30%, 40% in the last 12 months. Click here to see if that's your zip code. And when they click, have them go straight to your valuation page where they enter their address. So your Facebook post is just asking them to click and enter an address to see if theirs increased that much. The moment they enter the address, you have the lead. That's all you need. Yes, I would love them to enter more information. Yes, I'd love them to tell me like everything about their family, when they got married, their kids' ages, everything, so I could do all the stuff that we need to do as real estate agents. All I need is them to give me that address and I've got them. That's like the fish biting the hook. You still have to reel them in. That's your job as a real estate agent. And the bigger the fish, the longer it's going to take. But we just need them to bite the hook. That's entering the address.
So there's different ways that you can promote your home valuation page, like Nick said. One of them is you can have it, as you see in my cover photo, it's what's your home worth. And then the learn more takes, well, it doesn't take me there because I'm not an agent, but it should take you to the home valuation page. So that's one way you can do it. You can create posts. You can do it on your stories. You can do it within your your Instagram post. You can also do it in your email, which I will walk you guys through that. But
So before you leave, so before you leave Facebook, let's talk. Having it here is fantastic on your business page,
Mhm.
but this is like standing on a corner, waving your arms. Somebody hopes that they show up,
Yeah.
right? You may get one person to drive by every once in a great while and say, why are you waving your arms? But generally speaking, everyone's just going to ignore you.
Mhm.
Making active posts, sending it out in emails, sending it out in postcards, calling people and telling them to visit. And then I want to go over a little bit of creating website domains that click to, and I'll do that after you go through this part.
Okay, so I just wanted to show that we have 3 different different templates that you can start using today. After this meeting, I'm going to go ahead and create more and send those out so that you have different content that you can start posting on your Facebook, on your Instagram, on your LinkedIn. And if you are looking for something more specific, more branded to you, you're more than welcome to contact the marketing department and have us create something for you. So if we were going to do a post, let's just say we were going to, I think, add that heat map. I think I saved it on my desktop. And then obviously, anytime that you are writing or you're creating a post on Facebook, you want to say something, right? You want to you just don't want to like share this with the link.
Yeah,
Not say anything.
it has to
Give it
be
context.
something that's going to cause me to move to click.
Mhm.
So don't overshare, because if you give me reasons not to click, I'm looking for them, right? I, as a person, am sitting here back saying, you know, and I find this with a lot of people, they offer too much information. And as a prospective client, I'm looking for reasons to not to have to work with you. People don't wake up and say, oh, I can't wait to find a real estate agent today and they have really cool information and, oh, I'm going to go out and search it. They look for reasons to not to have to talk to you. It's not that they don't like you, it's this, they don't know you and don't trust you yet. So they look for reasons to not talk to you. So don't overshare. Also, don't make it so vague book that you seem like a weirdo. Actually offer something that you're going to try and be who you are. So
Mhm.
I would honestly write something, and I don't know, I'm making up these stats, so please don't quote me, but I would say 2 zip codes in Stanislaus County had 30% year-over-year appreciation. Click here to see if it was yours.
Yeah, that will definitely motivate people to click on there. And there's so many different angles that you can go through this. I know BuySide, when we first introduced BuySide, their example was, do you know what your home's worth is? Do you know the value of your ex's house? How about your neighbors? And that
Yeah.
was just supposed to be like, you know, catching and funny. And it works for some people. So it really depends on your personality and your brand.
You may be talking to a lot of exes.
Exactly.
I hope they don't all live in Texas.
Okay, where's my BuySide? So let's go into everybody's BuySide portal. Looks like this. You have my buyers, my listings, notifications. If you want to, if we go to the home valuation site, there's going to be a marketing suite here. We click on here, it's going to give us 3 options. It'll give you a preview of your home valuation site that we just were on next. Here is the email signature that you can add to your to the bottom of your email signature. So it's there anytime you're, you know, communicating with clients. There is the social media one. So if you click on these, then it'll pop up the link. And then there's the widget, which you have on your About Me page. So that was, I think I clicked out of it. So it was the page on Nick's page with that said About Me with all the listings in his bio. We've added it there for all our agents as well. Is there anything that anything else that you want to go over as far as marketing their home valuation page?
Well, I have a couple more ideas. So the important part for all of the evaluation page is just to put it out there. Having this really cool valuation page and keeping it in PMZ's server does you no good.
Mhm.
There's 700 on the server. How do they know to use you? So the more that you put this valuation page out for the public to see, the more leads you're going to get. Facebook is one, Instagram is one. That's just social media. Don't be afraid to send out emails to everybody at an open house, right? Say,
Yeah.
look, I may like, especially if it's not your listing, right? Because listing prices are just suggestions and so many people are out of control right now. So at an open house that you can do them again, when anybody comes in, send them a quick email and says, hey, by the way, just to find out what that house is worth, why not enter the address here? Ask them to enter their home. Find out if you have more money than you thought. One of the really cool things is to say, people have more equity than they've ever known, right? One of the stats I think NAR just released about why we're not going to have a market collapse in the next 5 years is in 2005, only 17% of homes had more than 10% equity. Right now, we're sitting at 63%. So 63% of all homeowners in the United States have more equity than they did in the last market collapse. That's why it's not collapsing. Do you know your equity number? One of the first ways I ever built my business was door knocking. And my script literally was as simple as can be. I would say, hey, do you get a mortgage statement every month on how much you owe the bank? And they'd always say, well, of course I do. And I said, do you get a statement from your bank and your retirement account about how much money you actually have every single month? And they say, yeah. And I was like, is your home your most expensive asset? Do you get a statement every single month on actually how much cash you have? How much equity you have? And nobody ever had an answer to say, yeah, I get it every month, or I get Zillow. And I'm like, yeah. So if you're banking your equity statement on Zillow, you got another thing coming. But the question was, why do you not have somebody telling you how much your most valuable asset is worth and how much equity you actually have every single month? Like, I would be pissed off if Chase didn't tell me how much money I had in my account at my fingertips. I log into my Chase bank account literally every morning, every single one of my banks. I log in. How much money do I have? Did anybody steal anything from me overnight? Did I lose a card to somebody in Nigeria buying something at Target in Toronto? I don't know. I want to make sure I didn't lose anything. Yet how many people know exactly how much their house is worth every day? And you don't have to know every day because it's crazy, but at least every single month. Like, I always want to know how much my house is worth, and I'm in the industry. I still Google stuff. So your clients are doing the same thing. You have to put this information in front of them, and you will get way more communication from them because you're trying to help them. This is a service. We all care how much our house is worth. Every one of us. Anyway,
Yeah,
I'll get on my pulpit.
I encourage all of you after we've end our call to go to your home valuation page and run your address through there. See, check that out. Sign up for those monthly statements so you get those. So that's always top of mind as well.
And it lets you see what your clients are seeing. And it should also be a gentle reminder that you need more clients if the only one you get is yours.
Yeah. Okay, so moving to the BMA. So I'm still on the My Buy Side portal. Here's the BMA. If you are going to a listing presentation, and you can do this in front of your clients at a listing presentation in the driveway with an iPad right before you leave the office, you can enter an address. This is the one. So I'm going to enter the same one that we've been working with. So this is going to be very similar to the home valuation page. The only difference is that you're creating that if you can edit that information before you can present it. You have a little bit more control. So if it's 3 beds, the square footage, property type, click next. And now you can select which 3 home valuations you want to add. If I just want to add 2, if I just want to add 1, and then you can also do your own estimate on here. So I'm going to do maybe 315 to 320. So this is where the featured buyers, and I feel like this is really powerful. If you're trying to work with buyers who think their home is way over value price, you can say, well, if we stay within this area, we have 5. But if we go towards the higher area, well, right now we have 7. But I think because the numbers aren't there, because we don't have that many buyers. But you see the 8 buyers here. So I think this market is not needed for this market specifically because there's so many buyers. But once it
changes.
Yeah. Definitely.
right?
Yeah.
Or it softens, or if it slows down and we don't receive, like, it feels like people are throwing their firstborn child at us to sell a house. When we get to a normal market, the amount of information that you could provide versus the other agent you're competing against is going to differentiate you. Because most agents, and let's be honest, 95% of them walk in and they hope that their charming personality and good looks is going to get the listing. They may have one MLS printout and then they smile a lot and then they name drop. If you have information and you actually sound like a professional, when it comes time to have a price reduction, when it comes time to get requests for repairs done, you've already proven you're professional. The rest of the transaction goes easier. The reason communication is hated on about real estate agents is most of us don't know what to say after 21 days because we need to lower the price and our charming good looks don't matter anymore. So focus on having the most amount of information. You're more prepared to get more business.
Exactly. So right now,
Unless you look like Eric Ingerson, then you're always going to get business, right?
I think my internet's a little slower because oh, there we go. Let's do save. So this is an example of the buyer's market analysis. You guys can raise your hand. How many of you guys have actually seen this?
I know there's a button to raise my hand in here. Hold on.
Or you can let me know in the chat if you've seen this too. Like who's actually gone, ran a BMA, printed it out and sent it and showed it to a client. Nobody? So I would, again, encourage you to run a BMA on your property, maybe a listing that you already have, and go through all this information because it's here. You see, we have the 3 estimates that I entered. Now we have my suggestions, the heat map that we've talked about, the funnel by bedroom, number of potential buyers. And this is, you know, something that you take with you on top of your CMA.
I do think it's nice, Nicole. I honestly, if you guys just spend 5 to 10 minutes every morning. So for those of you who heard Ben's speech yesterday or have ever taken PMZ9 and heard of the 5551 that Daniel started with and Ben talks about, I think you should add another 5 in here. Send out 5 different messages on Facebook, just in case somebody's curious about a home valuation, or 1 post a week. So make it a 55511. 1 post a week that asks if you're interested to find out how much your home has increased in value in the last month. If you're in one of the hottest counties or zip codes in the United States, if you come up with something that would make you want to click on the ad. And if you do that just once a week and you get only 1 lead, that's more than you had before. And it only takes seconds to do this.
Yeah.
I did this back in the day, by the way, like sidebar, no charge again for all those in the room. When I was building my business, I bought 10 valuation sites. And this is where I tell you that you need to get like vanity URLs. I paid thousands of dollars to have valuation sites where I owned villageonehousevalue.com. And I took a picture from Google that had that stupid marquee in front of the Raleigh Shopping Center in Village One, because I know Remax and International, Coldwell Banker International, like all these international companies and national companies don't know what Village One is because it's not an actual searched city. So villageonehousevalue.com or Village One Home Value had no competition. I put a vanity URL, I would take a picture, and I would post those things to try and get people to click on it. And it cost thousands of dollars to run these reports because this technology didn't exist back then. And now you get it at no cost, and it just baffles me if you're not using it. It'll make my eye twitch. You can do this in less than 10 minutes. That used to take me a day or 2, and I had to pay people to do it.
Exactly. Okay, so we've ran the BMA. Are there any questions as far as the BMA? Anything else that you want to add, Nick? I see that Margaret says she has used the BMA and that the report has been received well. So I'm excited to know that, Margaret. Thanks for sharing. So now we're going to do my buyers.
Well, we have 17 people in here in the chat. Will everybody in here commit to sending 2 of these out this week? Put y'all on the spot.
Yeah,
Type in the chat, I commit. Margaret does, okay. Reem, all right. Ellis, all right, I commit. Rob, there we go.
awesome. Send us an email
I
when
need
you,
more.
once you guys have done it. Or let us know what the feedback.
Laura, all right. Oh,
Awesome.
I'm liking this.
By next
By next
Friday.
Friday.
Perfect.
I like that you put a time frame on it because that is how it's supposed to be done. Loving it. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Okay, so let's add a buyer. So let's do, it's gonna be assigned to me. You can talk about school districts, zip codes, all this all the property type things that you can think of.
Before we dive way into that,
Mhm.
scroll up just a little bit. As much as I love school districts, cities and zip codes, yes, school districts are kind of wonky in the MLS and all those places. So be very, very gentle about
Mhm.
making that the primary search stuff. Remember, computers are garbage in, garbage out. And a lot of agents are garbage. So the things that they put in the MLS are garbage and it won't always be accurate. Okay, continue.
So there's a lot of different criteria on here. You can even add public comments on there. If we scroll down, more information, BuySide has a rating system, so I think there's like 1 to 4 stars. And the more information you enter, the higher rating your buyer will get. And one of the most important things is if they're qualified, pre-qualified, if you have a minimum and a maximum price, and then the type of buyer and the method of payment as well. So this is where I see the most pushback. And Nick, you can enter anything if you want, but it's like, well, I don't want people stealing my client's information, right? So
Right.
none of this information is
Public.
public and mandatory.
We even put it in parentheses. This info is only seen by you.
By you, but you also see that there's no asterisk here, so none of this is sorry,
Necessary.
necessary. So here I can just give my buyer, buyer 1, 2, 3. I can give it a nickname, and that's all I have to enter, just so that I know on
Who it is.
my notes who is who. You don't have to enter their primary email, their phone number. Nobody's gonna see this information. Nobody's gonna contact them. And here, unless you have selected, so you can have, if there's like coming soon and that we all receive, you can have those your buyers directly. Who is everybody?
I think it's Nicole.
For what?
Can you mute
There's a
your-
lot of background noise.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Oh, it wasn't her.
So I forgot, I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry.
You were putting about nicknames. So in this section, if you also get leads from in the system, it kind of shows up on the same way with star ratings.
Mhm.
I would just put whatever it is that you will remember on who it is and whether or not you want them to receive the email. So I'm a person that feels we as real estate agents get in the way of transactions. And if I'm good enough at what I do and I communicate consistently, I don't care if you know who my client is. So I want them to receive the email, so I'm not in the way. I would personally put every single thing I could about the person in here because I trust that I'm going to do my job. If you don't trust me or us, then don't go that far. It just makes the most absolute sense that you're not a cog in the wheel in a market that moves as fast as it does right now.
And I would say this is super important right now. Like we keep saying, there's way more buyers than there are listings, right? So why not give your buyers that little bump of getting them to see a coming soon listing before it hits the market, right?
And how many of, and I won't dime anybody out specifically, but I've had a lot of agents say, how do I keep my buyers from not going to call the listing agent? How do I provide value when we lose out on so many offers? One of them is you're showing them properties that don't even exist yet.
Mhm.
That's as valuable as it gets. Well, I guess exist is the wrong way to do it, existentially speaking. There's properties that nobody else gets a chance to look at but them. And I think in our sales meeting, we had, Gary's not on here. He's 2 doors down. I'll throw something at him. 2 properties closed on the Reeve team last week. Bob, you're here to confirm this, I think. Were all buy-side style transactions.
So we're having, why not get them to see the listing and start talking to the listing agent before, the other 15 offers come through, right?
Why not be the one that writes the best possible offer
First.
before the other 15 get there?
Mhm.
And if your buyers don't get it, they can't blame you. They have to blame their circumstance. You gave them the shot.
Yeah, imagine, I had 2 people who were buying in this crazy market, and they put I know one of them put 15 offers down before they were able to purchase their home. Imagine, being that agent, say, hey, there's this, listing coming on the market. Let's go check it out before it hits there and, see if we can beat the competition. Okay. Can everybody commit to adding a buyer or 2? Yeah,
No, make them type it. I'm screenshotting who said they're doing this stuff.
yeah. If you are working with a buyer right now, please enter it. Please. And I want to go in here, first thing, maybe Monday morning, next Thursday, and see that number 7 increase to 15, 20, whatever that number looks like.
I know we're working with about 1,500 buyers as a company
We
because
are.
I know how many people are on pmz.com from you every single day.
Yeah. So let's get those added. Let's start increasing those numbers. And, I think listing agents have done a really good job at sending those coming soons, but let's match that by entering the buyers. Okay, let's get here. All right, is there anything, I think that was it for buy side. Any questions, any concerns, any pushback, anything that you think we need to address?
Well, let's just, specifically go over any questions. We actually hit 45 minutes.
Oh, we did.
I didn't
Okay.
think it'd go that long. But we'll always keep bringing more. If this is fun, we'll keep doing it, obviously.
Mhm.
We've committed to August. But what questions can we answer about buy side specifically if you have them or anything else? And you could bring it up, prospecting, objections, conversations, anything. I like awkward silences.
Yeah. Come on, at least one person unmute and ask us a question.
Hermano.
How many total buyers are in buy side right now in all of PMZ?
¿Me escuchas?
Good question. Let me
Tengo un meeting online.
see if I can find, I don't know that I have that information at the tip of my hands.
She'd be the only one that could tell you. And that's like a positive, right? That should be the positive. We don't actually know that number because we don't look up your clients.
Exactly. Let's see. So I can, from January 1st of this year till today, we've had 249 buyers added. And that is company-wide. And we've had 1,060 people log into buy side.
That's a pretty powerful tool that I'm underusing, I guess, and we are underusing.
Yeah, thanks for asking. So 249, I want to see that number double. Triple even, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any other questions? No, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found it informational, and I'm excited to see you guys here in, is it 2 weeks from now, from today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the first week of July, so it might, June's 30 days. Yeah. So on a sidebar, no charge. Again, I love doing those. We've only had 257 buyers added. I'm going to tell you, we have had since January, we have closed almost 1,400. Is that right? Hold on. 1,400 buyers since January right now. So that means 1,200 of our buyers were underserved because we didn't do this. And again, that's being facetious, and I know I'm full of hyperbole. That's what you do as a talker. But the more buyers we enter in here, the more value we provide, because that's what it's all about, providing value. And using these systems is why we wanted to really bring this to you, because value is important. So I don't want those other 1,200. I would love, if I'm doing this around Thanksgiving, drinking like a pumpkin ale instead, talking about exactly, hey, 80% of our buyers are being entered into buy side. We've finally got adoption. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
And then we can sing Christmas songs.
And I just would be so, I don't know, like knowing that agents are using it, entering those buyers, especially in this market, I think is so important and helpful. Any
questions before we go?
Yeah.
Yep.
So how many, seeing how I'm still, I'm the new guy.
You are.
That hasn't jumped on totally yet.
I got your desk for you, Randy. Just let me know when.
I'm closer, I'll tell you that. So how many, because I've got some things planned to talk to some other places. How many, that's going to be one of my questions of what do they offer? How many, I guess what I'm getting is how many other agencies offer something even similar to this? Is there?
None.
I'm gonna put my.
I'll guarantee that the answer is
no
none.
one, no other company.
I know how much
area.
this system costs, and if you don't have the agent population to do this, it ain't happening.
Gotcha.
So a valuation site, right? I'll just tell you how much I was paying for valuation sites and where I bought them in case you guys are curious. From Brivity, my friend owns the company and he gave me a sweetheart deal. So for 10 valuation sites, so I could have different ones branded different ways, cost me $1,300 a month. I had to buy the URLs to make them vanity URLs because I didn't want it all to say nickcameron.brivity.com. So I bought all the URLs. That cost about $35 a month. Then I was paying somebody to manage it to basically make a woohoo page so the leads would actually show up in my inbox. Because if you have valuation sites that aren't attached to your company, they're going to go to some random nothingness. So you have to find a way to get them into a system so you can call them. That costs more money. I was probably spending $1,500 to $2,000 a month for a system that y'all get just for saying hi and wearing blue shirts. I can't tell you why I'm so upset is that agents don't use it because they're not paying for it. And if I charged you, y'all be with using it, realizing this is a $1,500 monthly system that's costing you $0.00.
And
I just want to reach out and hug y'all and be like, please.
That's what, to me, I mean,
yeah,
going through these, and it just seems that there's so much that it seems like you guys provide that is no cost for, a new agent, which
exactly.
That's got to be, I mean, that's one of the factors, obviously, I would think that would push anybody in one direction or another of, especially at first, how much do you got to put out of your own pocket? So
exactly. This is Kermit Frog sipping tea meme.
And I will tell you
that doesn't look like tea, by the way.
It is.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet there's nobody in this region that has a system that buy side in general. I know that for sure, but a system that's as powerful as this one. They might have home valuation pages, but they might be as useful as Zillow, right?
Right. Zillow's a home valuation page.
Yeah.
You get Zillow leads, especially if you're the listing agent. Right? I'll hold in this hand how much money I've got from that.
Yeah. But even then, like the information that buy side has, a lot of it is the way that they get their information is pretty scary as far as the tracking and all, as far as the buyers and what they're searching for, and all that information is out of this world. And they might have a valuation site, but it's nowhere near as all the tools and the value that the buy side offers.
So is this buy side, is it just specific to PMZ, or is there other agencies that could take advantage of this? They just choose not to because of the cost.
They just choose not to. Yeah.
So they go with
And there
maybe
is some,
rely on Zillow and stuff like that.
Mhm.
yeah, and there is some exclusivity. So we do negotiate exclusivities when we do these contracts, because if we're gonna drop that kind of coin, we want to make sure that our agents have it first, or at least the best version.
Gotcha.
We don't go, there's no second place here.
All right. Is there any other
What's the
questions?
shake and bake thing? I'm trying to think of the thing from the NASCAR Will Ferrell movie. Anyway.
No, I know exactly. That was a great movie though. Hilarious.
All right, any other questions before we run?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Please come back to first Thursday of July. And if there's anything that you're wanting us to cover, send me or Nick an email and we'll add that to the list of things that we'll talk about. Awesome.
All right, you guys did a great
Alrighty,
job. Thank
thanks
you
for
so
joining
much.
us.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
See you later, everybody.
Bye.